Nokia 9 PureView was highly anticipated smartphone for many, for me especially. Someone imagined decent hardware, somebody couldn't fall asleep at night due to hot fantasies about photo quality of the upcoming flagship. Well, and some people were saving money for a long time to try some Nokia, but who cares about the last year's 8 Sirocco model, right? And so it happened, Nokia 9 is already in stores, but jumping ahead I'll say that the firmware is still down to bottom, that I strongly recommend keeping this fact in head while watching our review. Guys from Finland promises updates that will improve almost everything in the device, but now it is what it is. It's tech fellas, mine is Bogdan, and let's dive deep into this freshie. I can describe smartphone's look in 2 words: pure elegance. In general, this style doesn't have some special groundbreaking features, but the overall result is above all expectations. Nokia 9 PureView turned out to be fancy looking and doesn't try to repeat someone else. Both front and back are made of glass, the bezels are aluminum, it's easy to catch the feeling of something expensive and solid when holding the phone, and of course the set of cameras on the back creates pretty unique picture. You literally won't find anything like this on the market, although many think that flower-shaped camera set looks weird. From what your eyes will spot immediately and mind will hold forever is lack of notch popping up cameras and similar stuff. Not an eye scratching apart from a noticeable frame around the screen. Not a modern approach, but some people still fall for such an old school. It is USB Type-C here, but no mini jack. Smartphones also got 2 slots in the card drawer for SIM cards and unfortunately none for SD card. Also worth to admit the support of wireless charging. From my personal experience, this feature is highly practical and definitely a useful thing. In addition, the smartphones got IP67 rated dust and liquid protection. Yeah, IP68 would be better, but believe me, for most situations from the daily routine, this is more than enough. What else? Here you can find a fingerprint reader. Of course, by the flagship standards, it is set in a modern in-screen way. It's quite stable. You must face the fact that scanners sometimes may respond only after you specifically press on it. Also, don't forget about the face unlock that is based on the front camera. Unfortunately, there are no special kinda true depth sensors here. Speaking about the display, it's 5.99-inch POLED with 2880 by 1440 resolution. The displayed picture is pleasing with its high definition as well as decent viewing angles. Thanks to the top level of the brightness range, you will see everything on the screen even at 12 o'clock on the street on a sunny day. The bottom brightness is not the worst, but I don't see here anything spectacular. You can adjust colors, but in the simplest possible way as for our modern world. Anyway, that fits at least the most basic settings, and it's fine. You must also try always on display. I would place this feature in one convenience line with the wireless charging, but unfortunately I can't speak the same about the sound reproduction. First of all, the speaker is only one, so no stereo sound, at least the quality is not bad. Also, it's pretty loud and you will hear it even in a noisy place. Do not try to find a lot of details, but the phone is all capable to bring the correct sound from movies, for example. After a couple of hi-fi devices in our reviews, Nokia 9 PureView for me tastes poorly in our hands, not matching even the level of beginners hi-fi players. However, by the standards of the smartphones, the sound is just slightly below the average quality in details. I can't call it neither a honey for ears nor a disaster. So let's finally get to a camera, or rather a bunch of cameras. In front we see a lonely selfie one. It doesn't bring anything extremely fantastic in photos. Sometimes your eyes will say wow, and sometimes, well, okay. For example, if your hairstyle is kinda like my friend has, you might appear on the photo with white spots on your head. However, I admit the details are not bad. And now let's hit the party of 5 main cameras. The phone has 2 RGB and 3 monochrome. Ideally, every piece of that set should take breathtaking content with infinite depth of the field and awesome dynamic range, but the software is so damp and therefore post-processing creates 1 awesome shot, 7 okay ones and 2 just no show-off pictures out of 10 in total. Guys from our team even put some bets for the time when a long-awaited software update will arrive and teach these cameras to cook as awesome content as Nokia's website is showing us. Meanwhile, the pics are mostly just normal, nothing I can say more. This fate is similar to videos. The clips turned out to be nice, but they are lacking stabilization and dynamic range is pretty narrow. Summarizing, by far, in fact, except the large resolution and more or less correct color transfer, there is nothing special to catch in cameras here, but maybe the hardware will be more kind. Nokia 9 meets us with a very familiar specs: processor Qualcomm Snapdragon 845, graphics Adreno 630, 6 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of the storage. This whole stuffing works effectively and without lags. Either you do easy everyday tasks or spending time gaming. PUBG Mobile with high graphics runs smooth picture, World of Tanks Blitz on the maximum set shows 59 and 60 FPS. But here's the drill, phone becomes warm even while doing simple tasks like playing music for ya. Throttling actually has never brought any slowdowns by far, but I suppose that in the future when the games become more demanding, the shortcomings from this hardware may erupt as a volcano. Benchmark tests grant us next results that you can watch in details if you pause the video, and here are screenshots from the battery life tests. Speaking of which, the battery capacity 3220 mAh, the smartphone boldly survives one day, which in principle is an absolutely common thing for the nowadays flagship. Overall, I can say the device has a big list of enemies on the market. Some of them are familiar for you even from the previous year. Perhaps the only thing of how Nokia can be praised in the front of the other brands is the serious price reduction of its novelty in the near future. I think this will bring more bright thoughts about that smartphone. And finally, let's send our hopes for such desirable software updates, because come on Nokia!
Do it! Yes, you can! Do it!
I believe in you. Anyway, this is it for today, and you will find the links to this guy in the description box below. And if you like this video, hit the like button and also subscribe and ring the bell to stay tuned for more cool content. My thanks for watching, and cheers!